For the latest episode of the SemiConscious podcast, I've been talking to Maria Fistrich, the editor-in-chief of Elektronik Praxis, the publication in Germany. Maria has got some fascinating insights into the way that the audience is changing in the electronics engineering sector and the ways that she's adapting Elektronik Praxis to provide the audiences with what they need in video and social media, as well as the traditional print and digital magazine. You're going to enjoy this episode, so please, here's me in the conversation with Maria Fistrich of Elektronik Praxis. Welcome to SemiConscious from TKO, the specialist marketing services agency for the electronics industry. I'm very pleased to be joined today by Maria Fistrich, the editor-in-chief of Elektronik Praxis, which is one of the oldest and most respected publications based in Germany, German language, but most respected publications across Europe, probably globally as well. A very well-known title. But like all of us in the media and marketing world, has had to cope with and adapt to a lot of changes in the past few years. So the rise of the internet, then the rise of social media, now the rise of AI. A lot of change and an interesting time to be editor-in-chief of Elektronik Praxis. So delighted to be talking about that today with you, Maria. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Tim.
Well, it's a great pleasure for me, and I'm really, really excited about what we're going to talk about today. So there are big issues around sort of the media and publishing and the journalism industry that apply sort of more widely, but particularly to us in our electronics industry. But before we get into the future, just sort of like to, for those people maybe who have never had a chance to meet you before, who are watching or listening, just an introduction to you. So if you can sort of tell us, how did you get into journalism? And then I think you didn't start in the electronics industry. So then how did you get into this funny world of electronics?
Oh God, Tim, that's a very long story.
Well, that's what you're here for.
I actually always wanted to do journalism. That was always something I dreamt of. I always wanted to radio.
Even as far back as when you were in school?
In school, yes. I always wanted to do radio journalism. I had my own show on on a small local network. That's something that always fascinated me, talking with people, getting out, searching the cool stories about the new topics and interesting trends. And after I finished school, it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be to get into the business, because a lot of companies want you to have university finished or another internships and stuff like that. It wasn't as easy. And so I decided I go to university and study different things. So I studied history, Italianistics, and philosophy. And as the years went on, I was thought, okay, what I'm going to do with it. And I always thought about in my school time when I wanted to become a journalist. And I said, okay, that's always my dream. I really want to do this, but it's difficult to get into it, even in the big publishing houses. So I found a little company, the Computec Media, and they gave me a chance for an internship for the first 6 months. And I said, okay, that's it. That's I love it. I love it here. It's wonderful, and that's what I want to do. Even though it was not radio journalism, but Computec Media is a big entertainment publishing house which focuses on gaming hardware, gadgets, technical gadgets, movies, stuff like that. And they already
publishes magazines and a website. Is that?
Yeah, it's a B2C focus. It's a website, a couple different magazines. One of the biggest publishing houses in Germany at that time, but small compared to other companies. And
but still, magazines that ordinary people can buy at the newsstand, at the news agent.
Exactly about games and hardware and movies and technical gadgets. And they already did podcasts back then. It was 2011. And so I said, okay, that's a little bit of radio in there. So yes, I was very happy to be there. And then after my internship, I waited almost 2 years to get a secure job at this company. And I worked as a freelancer for different publishing houses. And it was a difficult time back then because there was a rapid decline of this industry, the B2C media in general, but especially special interest B2C media, because the internet was getting stronger every day. Our typical customers would not come to us anymore for advice. They found their advice on YouTube or on other social medias, and it was a very sad time because we know, okay, print isn't going to last, and it was so fast. I saw magazines die right in front of
Yeah.
my eyes, and it
Yeah.
was so sad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we
So
we
you really did choose quite a bad time to try to,
yes,
to launch your career into journalism, didn't you?
yes, exactly. But let me tell you, it was the best job ever. It was great. The first years were great. It was something I loved doing. I loved the writing. I loved the talking. I loved the travels all around the world. This job brought me to Asia, to the US. It was great. It was the best job ever. It was the best time, even though it was really hard to, sell our products. Really heavy decline in everything, and it was really difficult to, earn the money to pay
Yeah,
the editorial
absolutely.
teams.
But
Yes.
it's still, I think for you personally, it was a good time. I mean, you rose through the ranks. You got
Oh
promotions
yes.
and advanced in your career. So what happened that meant that you then moved across from that B2C, the consumer world, and the world of computers and gaming into the business to business world of electronics components and embedded systems?
Yeah, what happened? Yes. I think I really didn't see any future in this business anymore. And I really wanted to do something which has more impact on everything. And um, I really needed a new challenge. And I thought, okay, let's go do something completely different what I did all those years. And it it was hard because it's a completely new topic for me. But I must say that the electronics industry is super welcoming, hardly welcoming me, and it was the best decision I ever did. Yes,
Yeah. So you didn't join Elektronik Praxis, I think, as editor in chief. You had
deputy
a
editor in
different role to
chief.
start with. Deputy in chief, right?
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
yes.
And you were working at that stage for who was the editor in chief at that time?
Johann Wiesberg. Yes, and
The
then
famous Johann
he
Wiesbach. Okay,
the
who of
famous
course
Johann Wiesberg.
very many people know.
It's a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
guy. It's a great guy.
Mm.
Before I signed the contract, I said, okay, I really wanted to meet this guy. I have to work a year in this close connection together, and we hit it off from the beginning. It's a lovely guy. It's great. Uh, just a great guy. Yes.
Indeed, absolutely, yeah, a legend of our industry, and yeah, very fondly remembered by many people. Absolutely brilliant. So so there we are. So you've ended up in this weird world
Yes.
of electronics, and as you say, the whole of the industry. So not just Electronic Praxis, not just German publishing, but the whole of electronics journalism has gone through this difficult kind of time. What was your feeling as when you were appointed as editor in chief
Mm.
about how much change had already happened at Electronic Praxis and how much more had to happen
Mm.
to adapt to the changes?
Yeah, I think we were at a very good level when I started. We have different business areas. We have events. We are very strong in digital. Our website is the biggest reach in Germany for electronics websites. And we're still very strong in print. So I always had that fear in the back of my head that, okay, print is eventually going to die sooner than I expected. But it's a very slow but steady decline, but we can plan for a foreseeable future with print. I think it's still very important for us and very important on the German market. But this is not going to grow. So we have to find other revenue streams because print is not going to grow anymore. And I saw, yeah, okay, we need the right people for the right things we have to do. So my focus was on bringing a new team together. For the first 2 years, was hiring the right people that bring the right skill set for the things we have to do in the future, which is also audio and video. We need to do it. I mean, I think that the trade area in industry and trade press, they are a bit slower than in the B2C world, but it's definitely going to happen. You have to have a video team. you have to go out with your cameras, you have to do a podcast, you have to do all this stuff because you want to approach and reach the young engineers and the young customers, and they don't want no print. They don't even bookmark websites anymore because they are so focused on their own platforms. And the younger you are, the more you are on TikTok, maybe. Yeah, you have to ask yourself all the questions, all the right questions. Do we need to have a TikTok account for our classical readers? No, it's not really a platform to distribute content on knowledge. It's more of like your brand awareness. You have to be there. But this is a very difficult change because yes, we have a mixture of different people in our team, all of different ages. So this is a change that is it's really tough to do. And I think in general, social media is not really good for journalism as well because the provocative stuff wins on these platforms, and that's that's the only cause you can earn money on this platform. So it's not really something for journalism anymore on this social
of
media
course. And
platforms.
as a journalist, you're trained. It's your
Yes.
mission to provide balance and to be
Yes.
truth-based, isn't it? And
Yes.
yeah, that's right. Those kind of things are not well rewarded by the algorithms that
Yes.
drive Twitter, X, or Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. It is a really it's a
Yes,
harsh environment for
you have
journalists trying to do an honest job.
the really dry technical articles, they may be truthful, yes, but they are not loud enough to get some acknowledgement on these platforms, and that's very sad, really. And I still don't have the solution for all these problems, and I think no publishing house has, but yes, we will see. Yes, we will see.
Yeah.
But I think
So
in general, the right people on the right positions is very important for the future.
And tell me more about that. So it's very interesting what you're saying about the need to change the mix and the balance of your editorial team so that you've got the right skill set. Tell me more about those skill sets that you're looking for. Is that both for people that can work kind of like we are now, sort of behind a microphone and in front of a camera, but also people behind the scenes who can produce and edit and package audio and video content?
Yes, that's true. You need all of them. I think it's very important to have people that know the structure and data of our website and all the digital KPIs. You need to have someone who understands how all this works together and how search engines come to play. And that is very important. I think in the trade press, it isn't as important as in the B2C media. You have to have something as someone who can speak to a microphone, who can operate a camera, who can does the cutting, video editing, everything. And I need people that are open to try new stuff. And it's just not print anymore. The job of an editor changed so much in the last 25 years. Like 25 years ago, you wrote your articles, you made a magazine once a month. That's it. Today, you have to think about. I think about the video first. What kind of content is this? Is it a video? If it's a video, you can do like an article from it, you can do podcast from it, you can do social media. And I'm looking for people that have all this universe in their mind when they think about a topic and the content. And I think it's also very important to have people that only do print. That's fine by me because they're very good at it. But I also need people that are into the new topics. They are on TikTok, social media themselves, and they know how the algorithm works to post content. You have to have everything in a good team, I think, to be prepared for the future because print will be there in 10 years. It's small in revenue, but it will be there. So you still need someone who knows how to do a magazine. Yes.
And are you finding that you are getting the same kind of level of cooperation from your partners? So I'm thinking about component manufacturers who have kind of with Elektronik Praxis, as with I think probably every other electronics industry magazine, you draw on the expertise and the insights from components manufacturers and others who have something useful to say to engineers in the electronics industry. So traditionally, with the print magazine, then you've worked with them on articles and news stories and so on.
Yes.
Is that working in the same way with the new kinds of content with video and audio and so on?
It's a bit difficult because a lot of the partners, the customers are very reluctant to do video because they really don't have the persons themselves to go right in front of the camera. So you are on a trade show, yeah, you can do something, you can film like demos or have an interview with someone, but they're not very flexible at the moment. But I think it's going to change as well because there are also a new generation in those companies that just waiting to do new stuff. So yes, I'm very excited and I hope it's going to happen soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's changed for everyone, isn't it? It's changed for you as journalists, but equally it's changed for the companies that you deal with. Yeah. Okay. Very good. And is this something that you that you can see happening sort of more in Germany than perhaps in other places? Is the pace of change sort of similar there, or do you see for instance, I mean, often we think of the US as being sort of right at the forefront, or maybe even China at the forefront of what's of changes. Where is Germany in this transition?
I think the German companies and the German trade press is overall very very slow in developing new skill sets, and I don't think it's purely negative. They're cautious, and changes are scary for a lot of people all the time. I think there are a lot of countries that are more modern than Germany. I think especially in Asia or in India especially, they have very, very huge YouTube accounts that do technical stuff, technical videos with enormous reach. And yes, the train went and we missed it. I think we have to really do something in Germany. Not only in journalism, in the trade press, but in general. But there are a lot of countries that do it better than we do in Germany. But I think it's a combination of a trade press, very slow, and the customers that are very reluctant to do something new because print works. Okay, we do a banner newsletter. Okay, that's right, that works. Podcast. Okay, we have this very special a component. It's very difficult to explain in a podcast why this component is so useful for an engineer because you can't see it, and that's a bit of a problem, I would say.
Yes, so we're going to have to apply some creativity and some imagination to how we solve those problems for sure. Reflecting on the recent news that one of your rivals and competitors at the Vecca Group had made a tie-up with the owners of the Embedded World conference and exhibition. Does that do you have any reflections on that in terms of how that changes the competitive landscape for you, and does that require any changes or any moves by Elektronik Praxis in response?
Yeah, the news broke, I think, in November after Electronic Car, and we were surprised. Yeah, but yeah, I think it was for the Nuremberg Messe. It was the right move because they already had a long-term relationship working together for Embedded World and Embedded World Conference. I think it was the right move for them because the investor, Paragon Invest, which was the owner of Veka, tried to sell parts of the company for a long time. It was not really news that they wanted to sell it, but that the Nuremberg Messe bought it was okay. But I think they wanted to secure the rights to the Embedded World and Embedded Platforms Conference. So I just get this move. I don't know if they're really interested in being a competitor to us in terms of doing print magazines. I cannot say something about this because we really have to wait and see what's going to happen in the next month. But I think it's very, very sad because, I mean, as an editor, we are all colleagues. We know how hard the business sometimes is. We are all in the same boat. So I'm very sad to see that the people, they let go in the last months. So it's very sad because it's always sad. People in editorial teams have to leave the company. I say Elektronik Praxis is on a very good level at the moment. We have the biggest reach, we have the biggest circulation still in print. We have a very big team, 10 people at the moment, and we wanted to expand it even further. So I'm not in any way concerned about what happened there. So we just have to see if they're really still doing print in a year from now. And I don't know what they're going to do with this, but we are very strong and we're going to go our way.
Well, there we are. That's kind of, if you like, the current situation, today's news, and it's very exciting to see the kinds of changes that you're putting in place to mean that Elektronik Praxis adapts to the new environment, brings new and exciting ways for design engineers and others to engage with the material that you publish in video and audio as well as in print. It's been fantastic to hear how you've been the changes that you've been putting through there, Maria. I just wonder if I can finish by asking you to sort of think yourself forward to the year 2035, so 10 years from now. So when then you're looking back, what would be sort of the one big achievement or big change that you would want to have seen in your time as editor-in-chief at Elektronik Praxis?
Oh, I really wanted to expand Elektronik Praxis to the European market. I'm really looking forward to further enhance our English offerings we have. I really wanted to do our events in Europe, maybe in France or in the Netherlands or in Italy. That's something I really want to achieve. I want to expand Elektronik Praxis in the pan-European market. This will hopefully be my biggest achievement. And
well, that's very exciting and a big bold ambition. I wish you very great luck with that. I think the industry could benefit enormously from having all of the expertise and insights and creativity that Elektronik Praxis brings to the German market, and having people elsewhere in Europe to take advantage of that and benefit from that as well. That would be really exciting.
Yeah, I mean,
good luck.
Thank you. I mean, the electronics industry is super interesting because it's a backbone of all innovations. It's just more than the sum of the little components. It's the backbone of AI, IoT. It's so much more than just a little component. So it's super exciting, super interesting industry, and I'm really happy to be a part of, and I'm hoping to be a part for much longer.
Well, and we hope so too, and it's really been fantastic to hear about your thoughts and plans and hopes for Elektronik Praxis and for journalism more widely. Thank you, Maria, for sharing all of your thoughts with us. It's been wonderful to have you on the SemiConscious podcast.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks for having me.